lot of excitement about this Jets team. I mean, the season that they've had, 51 wins speaks for itself. But even more so, Chris, I mean, we all know it's important to be playing your best at the most important time of the year. And after that 6-game losing streak that had a lot of people going, here we go again, this team has turned it around. They're on a 7-game heater going into game 82 tonight. They have come back and grabbed home ice advantage against the best home ice team in the National Hockey League. And they did it in pretty convincing fashion, completing a series sweep with a 7-0 win in Denver in a game that the Avalanche said was the biggest game of the year. I know that the Avs are the favorites. They've got a shorter number to win the Cup. They are favorites when you look at the series prices. But if you break this down, if it wasn't the Colorado Avalanche, if everything was the same about their season, but it was like the Seattle Kraken or someone that didn't have that pedigree, I wouldn't be surprised if the numbers were different. Tell it, like, you have no skin in the game here. What do you make of this matchup between Winnipeg and Colorado that's going to get going likely on Sunday night?
Yeah, it's a misprice. The Jets should be favored. The Jets should be favored, and there's a couple reasons why I think the Jets should be favored. One is they have the best player in net in Connor Hellebuyck, and say what you want, but Nathan McKinney's probably going to win Hart, and Hellebuyck probably won't be in the conversation for the MVP, like in the nominations. He's in the conversation with guys like Pasternak and Artemi Panarin, but we all know that it's going to be most likely Nathan McKinnon, Nikita Kucherov, and pick if you want Austin Matthews or Connor McDavid. But Connor Hellebuyck is the key here in this series, and I've seen a ton of mediocre squads. Look at the Habs a couple years ago. Like, that was a mediocre team that went to the finals, partly because of the way that the system was in the bubble, in the playoff format, but also because of goaltending. And I look at both of these teams, and you see McDavid, or you see Nathan McKinnon, you see Cale Makar, and that's why they're favored, right? That's really why. It's because of those two polarizing figures on the ice. But at the end of the day, when I look at these two teams, between the pipes is very, very different. For example, I know you're well aware of Connor Hellebuyck, but 5-5 numbers is something that I really take a look at, and that's very key in the playoffs. It's not going to be a parade of the penalty box. You got to play a good structure of 5-5 hockey. Connor Hellebuyck has a .935 5-5 save percentage. It's the best mark in the NHL among goalies with 1,500 minutes. Laurent Brossoit is actually at .941. Just goes to show the brand of style that the Jets do play. But you look at goals saved above expected, number one for Connor Hellebuyck as well, 30.85. High danger save percentage, that's shots inside the slot where a lot of the goals happen in the NHL. 849 high danger save percentage. It's number 5 in the NHL. How about Alexander Georgiev, who has struggled big time in the second half of the season, and even over the last month he has an .866 save percentage. He's allowed 4+ goals, one of the games against the Jets, in 6 of his last 8 games. If you look at his 5-5 save percentage, it's at .902. It marks 28th in the NHL. He's got a negative 6.42 goals saved above expected. That is 32nd in the NHL. It's dead last among goalies with 2,800 minutes, and he has an .804 high danger save percentage. That is 32nd, a bottom 10 mark in the NHL, again, with goalies who have at least 1,500 minutes. So I think this is a very tough matchup for the Avs. I wasn't in on them last year. When they won the Cup 2 years ago, they had a second-line center in Nazem Kadri who was terrific for them. They didn't replace Nazem Kadri, decided to go with some younger players in JT Compher and Alex Newhook. Both guys are now gone from the Avs. They went out and made a deal at the deadline to trade Bowen Byram for Casey Middlestat, who is an okay second-line center, but I just don't think he's ready for this moment. The Jets are deeper down the middle of the ice. I can't wait for the Adam Lowry and Nathan McKinnon matchup, because that's what you're going to see, especially in Game 1 and Game 2. At home, with the Jets having home ice, they get that last change, a chance to get up early in the series, and Adam Lowry is going to give Nathan McKinnon fits. You can only slow this guy down a little bit, but they're just so much deeper down the middle of the ice. So if that's a matchup that the Jets can get, I think that is a win for them. And then you have Mark Scheifele, and then you have Sean Monahan. I think I joined you just after the deadline. I thought the Jets were big winners at the deadline. They got in early with Sean Monahan, who has experience down the middle of the ice, is terrific inside the circle. And then Tyler Toffoli, who's played everywhere he's played, he's scored. He's got a cup. He went to the finals, that team I told you about with the Habs. He is a big-time playoff performer. So the Jets are deeper down the middle. I don't want to say the Avs are a one-line team. Colorado, the Avs nation always gets at me when I say that at Dangle Betselli, but I do truly believe that without Gabriel Landeskog, this is just not the same team, and they load up with Rantanen and McKinnon, and I don't think that they can afford to do that. And when they split those two guys up, the offense does dry up. So I really do like the Jets, and they are plus money here to win this series, and I'm on them.
Yeah, I mean, I knew they'd be a favorite. I thought it might be a bit shorter, but plus 110. Thank you very much. We will take it and look forward to it. And you mentioned the home ice. Like
It's
2
huge.
weeks ago, that didn't seem to be a possibility. But they ran the gauntlet of the Central Division. Minnesota, Nashville, Dallas, Colorado won them all, earned home ice. And normally I'm like, well, home ice, it could mean something, but probably won't. In this series, you talked about the McKinnon matchup with Adam Lowry. We know what Jared Bednar, he wants to go strength on strength and get him out against the Scheifele line.
Sure.
And the potential of having a Game 7, if it does go that far here in Winnipeg with that last change, I think means a lot.